Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are breaking down a book that completely shatters the myth of the overnight success story. If you have ever felt frustrated because you are working hard, making good choices, but your life looks exactly the same as it did 6 months ago, this video is your wake-up call. We are doing a massive, deep dive breakdown of The Slight Edge, Turning Simple Disciplines into Massive Success and Happiness by Jeff Olson. This book doesn't give you a complicated 90-day hustle plan. It reveals a fundamental philosophy about how life actually works. It shows you how the tiniest, seemingly insignificant decisions you make every single day determine whether you end up wealthy, healthy, and happy, or broke, sick, and miserable. Get comfortable, get your notebook ready, and let's uncover how you can harness this invisible force to completely transform your trajectory. Part 1. The Secret of the Beach Bum and the Millionaire. Let's start our story with two young guys who live in the same beach town. They look almost identical. They wear the same kind of clothes, they have the same level of education, and they both start out with the exact same burning desire to do something great with their lives. Fast forward 20 years. One of these men is a multi-millionaire. He owns a beautiful home, he is in peak physical condition, his relationships are thriving, and he spends his days doing work he loves. The other man is living in a cramped apartment. He is heavily in debt, his health is failing, he feels lonely, and he works a dead-end job that he absolutely hates. He has essentially become a beach bum who watches life pass him by. What happened? Did the millionaire get a massive inheritance? Did he win the lottery? Did he possess some superhuman intelligence or talent that the beach bum lacked? No. Jeff Olson tells us that both men had access to the exact same opportunities. The difference is that one of them understood the slight edge, and the other one fell victim to it. What is the slight edge? The slight edge is the compounding effect of your daily choices. It is the understanding that everything you do matters. Every single day, you are faced with hundreds of tiny, mundane decisions. Do you eat a fresh salad, or do you eat a greasy burger? Do you read 15 pages of a life-changing book, or do you scroll through social media for an hour? Do you save $10, or do you spend it on a fancy coffee? Do you make that one extra phone call for your business, or do you call it a day and watch television? Here is the trap. On any given day, none of these choices make a visible difference. If you eat a burger today, you do not instantly wake up tomorrow 20 pounds overweight with clogged arteries. If you read 15 pages of a book today, your income does not suddenly double by tomorrow morning. Because the results of our daily actions are invisible in the short term, it is incredibly easy to make the wrong choices. We think that one little mistake won't hurt. But when you repeat that tiny mistake 365 times a year, for 5 years, it compounds into a massive disaster. Conversely, when you repeat a simple, positive discipline every day, it eventually hits an inflection point and shoots upward into extraordinary success. Part 2. The two life paths. Olson explains that everyone on this planet is on one of two curves, the success curve or the failure curve. Imagine a graph where two lines start at the exact same point. At the beginning, both curves look exactly the same. They run parallel to each other, right along the middle line. For months or even years, the person practicing daily disciplines and the person making daily errors in judgment look like they are getting the exact same results. But then, around the year 3, 4, or 5, the lines begin to separate. The success curve shoots up exponentially, while the failure curve dives down into chaos. Why people fail to understand the curve? We live in a microwave culture. We want instant gratification. We want the pill that makes us thin in a week, the investment that makes us rich in a month, and the hack that gives us a perfect relationship overnight. Because of this, we ignore the daily disciplines that actually work. We look at a simple discipline like saving $50 a week and think, why bother? That won't make me rich, so we spend the money instead. By doing that, we choose the failure curve without even realizing it. The tragedy of the failure curve is that its downward slope is so gentle at first that you don't even realize you are sliding down it until you hit the bottom. Part 3. Easy to do and easy not to do. This brings us to the core phrase of the entire book. Something you should write down and stick on your mirror. The things that create success are easy to do, but they are also incredibly easy not to do. Think about it. Is it easy to walk for 15 minutes a day? Yes. Anyone can do it. But is it easy not to walk for 15 minutes a day? Yes. It is even easier to just sit on the couch. Is it easy to write down your goals every morning? Yes. It takes 2 minutes. Is it easy not to write them down? Absolutely. The lack of immediate consequences. Why are these simple disciplines so easy to neglect? Because there is no immediate pain if you skip them. If you don't exercise today, your body doesn't hurt. If you don't study today, you don't get fired. The sky doesn't fall. The universe doesn't punish you instantly. But make no mistake, the universe is keeping score. The slight edge is always working, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It is either working for you or it is working against you. There is no such thing as staying in one place. If you are not actively moving upward on the success curve through daily disciplines, you are automatically drifting downward on the failure curve. Part 4. The myth of the quantum leap. We love stories about the quantum leap. We watch movies where the protagonist gets a sudden break, hits the jackpot, or gets discovered by a talent agent, and suddenly their entire life is perfect. Olson calls this the big lie of modern society. When we see a massive success story, a tech startup that sells for billions, an athlete who wins an Olympic gold medal, or an author who tops the bestseller list, we are only seeing the very end of the slight edge curve. We are looking at the dramatic upward spike. What we don't see are the thousands of invisible, lonely hours the startup founders spent coding when nothing was working. We don't see the thousands of cold, dark mornings the athlete spent training when no one was watching. We don't see the years the author spent writing page after page when they didn't have a single fan. The first step to greatness. If you want to achieve true greatness, you have to fall in love with the ordinary, mundane, daily process. You have to let go of the idea of the sudden break. The breakthrough isn't a random event that happens to you from the outside. The breakthrough is the natural, inevitable mathematical result of your compounded daily efforts. Stop looking for the home run. Start focusing on hitting single after single, day after day. Part 5. The power of time. Time is either your grandest ally or your worst enemy. It all depends on which side of the slight edge you are standing on. If you are on the failure curve, time is a ticking time bomb. Every day that passes puts you further into debt, worsens your health, and degrades your skills. But if you are on the success curve, time is your best friend. It is the soil in which your tiny seeds of effort grow into massive trees of achievement. The penny that doubles. To illustrate the incredible power of time and compounding, Olson shares a classic riddle. Would you rather have $1 million cash right now, or a single penny that doubles in value every single day for 31 days? Most people who don't understand the slight edge take the $1 million. But if you look at what happens to the penny, on day 1 you have a cent. By day 10 you only have about $5. By day 20, you have just over $5,000. On day 20, the person who took the $1 million is laughing. They have a massive fortune, while you only have a few $1,000 after nearly 3 weeks of waiting. But look at what happens in the final 10 days when the slight edge curve hits its vertical spike. By day 25, you cross $160,000. By day 28, you hit over $1 million. And on day 31, that single penny has turned into over $10 million. This is exactly how success works in real life. For the vast majority of the journey, your progress will look small, insignificant, and barely noticeable. People might even mock you or wonder why you are working so hard for such tiny results. But if you hold your ground and give time the chance to do its job, your results will eventually explode in ways that look like magic to outsiders. Part 6. The 7 Slight Edge Habits. So how do we operationalize this philosophy? Olson breaks down 7 specific habits that keep you firmly planted on the success curve. Show up. The absolute baseline of success is simply being there. Show up to your job, show up to your workouts, show up for your family, show up to your desk to write. A massive percentage of life is just showing up when you said you would, even when you don't feel like it. The person who shows up consistently, even with average talent, will always beat the genius who only shows up when they feel inspired. Show up consistently. Showing up once is easy. Showing up day in and day out, rain or shine, in good times and bad times, is where the magic happens. Consistency is the engine of the slight edge. If you work out intensely for 5 hours on Saturday but do nothing for the rest of the week, you won't get fit. In fact, you will probably hurt yourself. But if you work out for 20 minutes every single day, your body will completely transform. Cultivate a positive attitude. Your attitude determines your actions, and your actions determine your results. A positive attitude doesn't mean pretending everything is perfect when it isn't. It means actively looking for the opportunity inside every problem. It means choosing to be a creator of your circumstances rather than a victim of them. When you have a positive outlook, you see solutions that negative people completely miss. Commit for the long haul. You have to give your dreams enough time to mature. Think about a farmer. The farmer plants a seed in the spring, waters it through the summer, and harvests it in the fall. The farmer doesn't plant a seed on Monday, dig it up on Wednesday to see if it's growing, and then throw it away in frustration on Friday because there is no fruit. Yet that is exactly how most people treat their goals. They start a new business or a new diet, and if they don't see massive results in 2 weeks, they quit. You must commit to the season of growth. Cultivate a burning desire clarified by faith. You need a powerful reason why you are doing what you are doing. When the alarm goes off at 5 in the morning and it's freezing cold outside, your intellect will tell you to stay in bed. The only thing that will get you out of bed is a burning desire to achieve a grander vision for your life. And that desire must be backed by faith, the absolute certainty that your daily efforts will pay off, even when you can't see the results yet. Be willing to pay the price. There is no such thing as something for nothing. Every success requires a sacrifice. If you want an extraordinary business, you might have to give up your weekend leisure time for a while. If you want a healthy body, you have to give up the junk food. The beautiful thing about the slight edge is that the price is never overwhelming. It doesn't ask you to sacrifice your whole life all at once. It just asks you to pay a tiny price every single day. A few dollars saved, a few minutes exercised, a few pages read. Practice slight edge integrity. Integrity is doing the right thing when absolutely no one is watching. Slight edge integrity means doing your daily disciplines, even when your friends, your boss, your partner, and the world have no idea whether you did them or not. Remember, you are the one who has to live with the consequences of your choices. You cannot cheat the law of compounding. Part 7. The two faces of discipline. Many people dread the word discipline. They look at it as a form of punishment, a heavy weight that sucks the joy out of life. But Olson redefines discipline by showing us its two distinct faces, the face of achievement and the face of regret. Discipline weighs ounces, but regret weighs tons. When you choose the discipline of saving money today, it might feel like a tiny restriction, a weight of mere ounces. But if you don't save money, 30 years from now you will face the crushing weight of regret when you cannot afford to retire or take care of your family. When you choose the discipline of eating healthy and exercising today, it requires a tiny bit of effort. But if you neglect your health, you will face the devastating weight of medical crises down the road. You cannot escape weight in life. You must choose which weight you want to carry, the light weight of daily discipline or the agonizing weight of lifelong regret. Part 8. The 3 steps to continuous growth. To keep yourself on the success curve for decades, Olson outlines 3 essential pillars of growth: continuous learning, planning, and taking action. Continuous learning. You need to feed your mind with high-quality information every single day. Read books, listen to educational podcasts, attend seminars. But here is the catch. There are 2 kinds of learning. There is book learning, and there is life learning. Book learning is studying the theory. Life learning is getting out into the world and practicing what you learned. You need both. If you only read books but never take action, you become a philosopher who knows everything but accomplishes nothing. If you only take action but never read, you keep making the same painful mistakes over and over again because you aren't learning from the wisdom of others. The power of simple plans. You don't need a perfect plan to start. In fact, waiting for a perfect plan is just a sophisticated form of procrastination. Create a simple plan to get started today. If your plan is to start a business, your plan for day 1 could be as simple as buying a domain name or writing down a list of 10 potential clients. As you take action, your plan will naturally change and improve based on the real-world feedback you get. The plan itself isn't what matters most. It is the fact that the plan gets you moving. Action, action, action. Action cures fear. Action generates momentum. Action activates the slight edge. When you are actively working, even if you make mistakes, you are learning and moving forward. The worst thing you can do is stand still, overanalyzing everything until you are paralyzed by doubt. Part 9. The 4 Slight Edge Allies. Harnessing this philosophy can be challenging because our brains are wired for immediate comfort. Fortunately, Olson gives us 4 powerful allies we can use to stay on the right path. The ally of momentum. Think about a massive freight train sitting on the tracks. If you place a small wooden block directly in front of its wheels, that train cannot even start moving. The block stops it dead, but if that same train is barreling down the tracks at 80 miles an hour, it can smash through a concrete wall without even slowing down. That is the power of momentum. When you first start your daily disciplines, you are like the stationary train. It takes a lot of mental energy just to get moving. But once you build a streak of 20, 50, or 100 days of consistent action, you build an unstoppable psychological momentum. It becomes harder to stop doing the habit than it is to keep doing it. The ally of completion. We all have incomplete tasks hanging over our heads like dark clouds. Unfinished projects, unreturned emails, unresolved conflicts. Every single incomplete item in your life acts like a tiny leak in your energy tank. Olson advises us to use the slight edge to systematically complete our incompletes. Spend just 10 minutes a day cleaning up old files, fixing things around the house, or organizing your workspace. By closing these old loops, you reclaim a massive amount of mental clarity and personal power. The ally of reflection. You cannot manage what you do not measure. If you want to stay on the success curve, you must look at your actions honestly. At the end of every day, or every week, hold a reflection session with yourself. Ask yourself the hard questions. Did I do my daily disciplines today? Did I take a step forward on the success curve? Or did I slide down toward the failure curve? Did I read my pages? Did I eat well? Did I save my money? By measuring your daily actions, you bring your unconscious behaviors into the light of conscious awareness, making it impossible to lie to yourself about your progress. The ally of celebration. When you complete a daily discipline, celebrate it. Give yourself a mental high five. Celebrate the fact that you chose the success curve today. By celebrating the small wins, you train your brain to associate pleasure with the daily process, rather than just the final destination. This makes the journey sustainable and deeply enjoyable. Part 10. The 5 Core Areas of Life. The slight edge isn't just for business or finance. It applies equally to the 5 core areas of human existence. If you neglect any one of these areas, it will eventually drag the others down with it. Health. Your health is the foundation of everything. You can have hundreds of millions of dollars in the bank, but if you are confined to a hospital bed because you neglected your body for decades, your wealth means nothing. The slight edge of health is simple. Drink clean water, eat whole foods, sleep 7 to 8 hours, and move your body every single day. Small, simple choices compound into lifelong vitality. Personal development. Your income and your quality of life will rarely exceed your level of personal development. You must constantly grow your mind, your emotional intelligence, and your skills. Read 10 to 15 pages of a non-fiction book every single morning. In a year, that is 15 books. In a decade, that is 150 books. You will become an expert in your field simply by utilizing the slight edge of reading. Relationships. Great relationships are not born out of grand romantic gestures once a year on Valentine's Day. They are built out of the tiny daily habits of appreciation, kindness, listening, and respect. Saying thank you, checking in on a friend, giving a genuine compliment to your partner, holding hands. These are the small deposits into the relational emotional bank account that compound into rock-solid bonds over a lifetime. Finances. Financial freedom is the result of a very simple slight edge rule. Spend less than you earn and invest the difference consistently over long periods of time. It is not about how much money you make, it's about what you do with the money you make. The person who makes $50,000 a year but saves $5,000 a year will end up far wealthier than the person who makes $500,000 a year but spends $505,000 a year. Life impact. What legacy are you leaving behind? How are you helping your community and the world? You don't need to build a massive global charity to make an impact. The slight edge of life impact means being kind to the cashier, helping a neighbor carry their groceries, mentoring a younger coworker, or donating a small amount to a cause you care about regularly. Small acts of kindness compound into a wave of positive global change. The ultimate takeaway. As we close out this story, let's bring it back to you. Look at your life right now. Look at your bank account, your health, your relationships, and your career. Where you are standing today is the direct mathematical result of the tiny choices you made over the past 5 years. You cannot change the past. That line has already been drawn. But here's the beautiful, life-changing truth. You can completely change where you will be 5 years from now by changing the choices you make starting today. You are standing at a fork in the road every single second of your life. You are either choosing the upward success curve or the downward failure curve. The choice is yours, and it is entirely within your control. Stop waiting for the big break. Stop waiting for the lottery ticket. Pick up a book. Take a walk. Save $1. Make the call. Master the slight edge. Let time do the heavy lifting, and watch your life transform into an extraordinary masterpiece. What is the one tiny, simple discipline you are going to commit to doing every single day starting right now? Let me know in the comments down below. If this breakdown clicked for you and made you realize the power of your daily choices, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel so you never miss another deep dive, and share this video with a friend who needs to hear this message. Keep showing up, stay consistent, let time work for you, and I will see you in the next video.